We're going to continue looking at examples of standard trinomials. This time these are standard trinomials with an additional variable, so they're modified slightly. We still look for factors of this final term, so we need to find factors of -6 that sum to a -1. They need to add to the coefficient of this middle term here, which happens to be a -1. So factors of -6 are -1 and +6, or +1 and a -6. We could use 2 and -3, or -2 and +3. The sum in each of these cases is a 5, -5, -1, or 1. And the only pair that works for us here that's a factor of -6 but sums to make -1 are the factor options 2 and -3. So this tells us that our trinomial will factor into these two binomials as long as we include a +2 as a factor and a -3 as another factor. As with any standard trinomial, the first number in each binomial must come from the factor of our leading term, and we must also compensate for this n squared being in our final term, so we're going to include n at the very tail of this binomial. To double check our work, we should FOIL, and the first products of these two binomials is an m squared. The outside product is -3n. The inside, 3mn. The inside product is +2mn, and the last product is -6n squared. These two terms in the middle can combine since they are alike, and we're left with m squared minus mn minus 6n squared, which matches the original trinomial that we started the problem with, and that tells us that this factored pair above was a good solution. For this option here, part B, we're looking for factors of 10 that sum to make 7. So the factors of 10, we have 1 and 10, -1 and -10, 2 and 5, -2, -5. The sum of each of these factored pairs is 11, -11, 7, and -7. And the pair that works for us happens to be +2 and +5. So we can say that this trinomial factors into the binomials that contain factors of +2 and +5. Now, since this was a standard trinomial whose first term was c squared, we know that c will go in the beginning of each binomial. And to account for the d squared that showed up at the end of the trinomial, we'll put d at the end of each binomial. To check our work, we'll go ahead and FOIL these two back together and see what the result that we get. The first product is going to be c squared. The outside product is 5cd. The inside product is 2cd, which is positive. And the last product is 10d squared. The middle two terms can combine together since they are like terms. And we're left with c squared plus 7cd plus 10d squared, which matches the original trinomial that we had at the beginning of the problem. This tells me that the pair of binomials that we selected here at the top is correct for the factored result of the original trinomial. For classroom activity tomorrow, we'll again work out of section 8.1. This time we're looking at problems 25 through 34, and we'll complete all of those. And then we'll move on to the odds that come from 35 through 54.